Hello everybody, good evening, greetings and welcome to the Scorpion Editor Ultra Beginner's Guide, tutorial number 11, and this tutorial is called Inanisis Scrolling. We're going to take our finished game and add a scrolling background to it as a nice little effect. So enjoy and let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is copy the previous project and paste it into here. We'll call it number 11, Inanisis Scrolling. Open up the project. There it is. So we want to create a panel that's going to be the whole background. An easiest way to do that, so it's going to be this whole background full of tiles. The easiest way to do that is just ignore that. We'll open up this map, hide the actors layer and export it as an image, as a PNG. We're going to call that parallax.png, only visible layers. And we're done. And we go and add a panel here, and we'll add the newly created image called parallax. And we'll call that parallax. Then we'll change the panel type to Mega Drive Parallax. Change it to tile. Hopefully what that means is it's gonna just behind the scenes chop this all up into tiles instead of putting it in as one big image. But we don't need to worry too much about that. The game engine takes care of that. We don't need left or right speed, but we're not going to be moving it left or right, so that doesn't really matter, but we'll just set those to 0 anyway. And now this is important, it's not going to move unless we set parallax Y to a value, and we're just going to have it scrolling slowly 1 pixel. So parallax Y is 1. And then we're going to get rid of our tile map and replace it with a parallax background on all our maps. So we edit our maps one by one, select all the tiles and hit the delete key, save, and repeat for the other 2 maps. Ensuring that we select the map layer when we do this. Okay, and now we're going to select our parallax panel that we've just created. That's going to become our background layer for all our maps. So the Looks out of alignment, but I don't think that matters. Let's not worry about that. Okay. We'll just test that. We should see it's stationary, but everything as it was before. Okay, that's all good. Now, in our startup block, we're going to add two new variables. We're going to call them xscroll yscroll. We don't actually need xscroll, but well, we're not going to use xscroll, but we still need it, and that becomes obvious in this next step. Display parallax pointer. So we're going to move our background around with these variables that we've just defined here. Okay, and that only needs to be done at the start off. It persists across the levels, fortunately. Then we want to make it scroll, so we're going to create a code block. And we're going to call that background scroll. And what happens in here is each frame we're going to set the variable that's controlling our parallax background. Set variable, yes. Yscroll -1. It's gonna make the background appear to be moving down, so we're gonna appear to be moving up. And then I don't know if we actually need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Each time it gets to 16, we're going to wrap it around, but I believe that the engine does this automatically for you, but we'll just put that in there in case this value of this variable just keeps getting bigger and bigger, smaller and smaller. Actually, yeah. Let's make that -16. That's a good point. Anyway, that should scroll the background, and then we're going to add that as an event to all our maps on timer. We want it to run every one frame, but I believe that if you leave it at 0, it's going to run every one frame anyway. But just let's do that. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, we've got scrolling. We've got scrolling. What's going on? So this is important. On our game over startup event, we've got a code block called game over, and that has got a yield command in it. Now what's happening is the yield takes priority over the timer, so the engine will wait for the yield to finish before it starts the timer, and the yield is blocking the timer, which is not what we want. So what we're going to do is remove that startup event from the level. We're going to move it over to game over actor, have it running when the actor spawns, so the level yield will not interfere with the level timer. So game over there. But what we've also got to remember to do, if we run this now, we're going to have the same problem. The yield is running on interrupt level on timer. We need to change the category to actor, actor yield, and then it's running on the actor interrupt instead of the level interrupt. Okay, let's try that. Scrolling, and the pause is still in place, taking us back to the intro screen. The only other thing that I want to do is when we pause, we don't want to be able to pause on the game over screen. It doesn't make sense to me to be able to pause the game over screen, so we'll change this to an else if. New map is still the name of our level map. I haven't got around to changing that, we'll just left that as it is. And that's about it. We have scrolling, we have scrolling. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is prepare this for playing on real hardware. So because I'm in New Zealand, I'm going to set it to PAL Europe in the safety rails, and what that seems to do is make it automatically pick up that it's a PAL game, and then open with Blastum to compile it. Very good. Alright, so yep, 8:44 PM. Okay, so real hardware my ass. It's actually this thing. It's gadget from AliExpress, and you plug it into the HDMI port of your TV. It's got a memory card in it, which you put your ROMs on, which you all own legally, of course, on the memory card. Put the memory card into a card reader. And copy it across. We'll get rid of version 3, this is version 4. And we're done. The TV does not have a video capture facility, so we're going to take live footage of it. And also I should mention the controller is Bluetooth, and it's got all the exact button layout that you'd expect on a real Sega Mega Drive. Probably not as hard wearing, but it's lasted well so far. That's right.